So this is going to be a lesson talking about playing minor 7 flat 5 or half-diminished arpeggios on bass guitar. Now we can practice them in getting a sort of general awareness of going up and down the neck rather than just staying to one position and staying to one sort of general shape. Now we've been doing this for all the other 7th chords and for the triads too. Half-diminished chords are a little trickier to visualize for whatever reason. They just don't seem to lay very symmetrically on the fingerboard on bass. So we'll just take a little look at how to sort of see the shapes and how to just get inside them and make them feel a little bit more natural. So we're going to start this like we always have with our 1 octave 3-string shape. There are 2 basic options available to us. This is the sort of the most basic one. We have we're doing C minor 7 flat 5 or C half diminished here. We have C with first finger, E flat 4th finger, G flat 2nd finger, B flat 1st finger, C 4th finger. So I'm turning up here. So C, E flat, G flat, B flat, C. Fair enough. That's pretty easy to see. Another option that we have is C, E flat, G flat with pinky. Then do this little pivot shift thing that we've been doing all this time, which is using our first finger 1 fret behind the pinky, and to get this B flat. So, and grabbing the C right there. So, and that's just a really common thing again whenever we have a major third. And another thing that's nice about that is that we've said before that it alternates between 4 and 1. So we're not really having to think too much about fingering and that shape. It just naturally happens because we get their hand into this nice little rhythm. And then finally, one other possible shape that utilizes this back and forth is this one. We have C, E flat, G flat, grab the B flat here, and then C there. Nifty. Okay, so those are some of the basic 3-string 1 octave shapes. We can't use the open G like we have been before since we have a G flat in the chord. But you have these shapes. We have this one, and this one. Now we're going to take a look at some of the 2-string 1 octave shapes, and this is where things get a little dicier. The first one we're going to look at is this one. We're going to play it like this: C, E flat, G flat, and we're going to probably shift up to either the 1st or 2nd finger to grab this B flat. I'm going to use my 2nd finger just in this case, and then grab the C here. You could also use our 1st finger. That involves more of a leap, and it's not quite as fluid. Another possible option that we have is this. We have C, E flat, and then G flat with the 2nd finger. B flat, C. And finally, another option we have, and I remember I talked about this a little in the diminished arpeggio video, is to start with our 1st finger on C, but in general when you have the basic diminished triad at the bottom of an arpeggio or bottom of a chord structure, starting with the pinky is not usually the best option. It just doesn't, it ends up not working as well. So we have C, E flat, G flat, and then we're going to have to make this big old leap up to this B flat with our 1st finger. It is awkward, but it really gets you into sort of the shifting mindset. Cool. All right, so those are our some of our 2-string 1 octave approaches. Now let's look at the 1-string 1 octave approach. This one's going to be fairly simple. We have C, E flat with 4, shift up to G flat here, their 1st finger, and then probably grab the B flat with their 2nd finger, and then grab the C here, their 4th finger. Use a slightly different fingering on the way down that time. All right. So now let's take a look at some of our options for 3 strings, 2 octaves. Remember, we're not doing 4 strings, 2 octaves, because that generally is a little bit easier. It really forces us into horizontal mindset if we just limit it to 3 strings. We have here C, the first one I'm going to show you is this one. We have C, E flat, G, shift to second finger on B flat, C, pinky, E flat first finger, G flat fourth finger, shift up to B flat with the second finger here, and then C on the top. Back down. Alright, that works. Another possible option that we have is we could shift on the A string going up first and then working our way up from there. We have C, E flat, then shift up to the G flat here, grab the B flat with our fourth finger here, and then the C is right there with our first finger. Then grab E flat here with our fourth finger, G flat with our first finger, and then B flat, shift up to the B flat with our second finger here. Cool. Now, like with the other 7th arpeggio videos, we're going to take a look at how the upright way of fingering the 2 octave on 3 strings, and that's by going up entirely on the G string. So we're going to first start down here with our pinky. We're going to make it a little hard on ourselves, just, because. And we're going to play like this. C, E flat, G flat, do this little pivot shift thing to the B flat here. So B flat, C, then shift up to E flat, G flat, and shift up to B flat, C. So remember, with the upright position thing, we're basically just moving all the way up on the G string and just using 2 notes per position. There we go, yeah. Cool. Alright, so I hope that gave you some ideas for working with the minor 7 flat 5. There's a bunch more I could show you. It's generally best for you to try and work this stuff out for yourself and figure out what exactly works best. Minor 7 arpeggios, you can see, are kind of hard to visualize entirely, but it's still very workable and very usable sort of arpeggio. In the next couple lessons, we'll finish up with the 7th arpeggios. We have augmented major 7 and minor major 7 arpeggios we'll talk about in the next one, which are really tricky. I'm just going to mention them for the completest sake. They don't come up that often, but they give you some sort of novel ways of working with the intervals. And then we're going to wrap it up with a video on diminished 7 arpeggios and 6 and minor 6 arpeggios. So anyway, stay tuned.